Welcome to this DTS support video. Here we're going to be looking at how to use our Coda license in a creative way. We understand that times that there are coaching staffs that have an assistant and a head coach that want to share the coding responsibilities, the breakdown of video. Each coach has their gifts and talents and they interact with their players differently. So a second license will be very helpful. But often the leap to buying a whole nother Mac and a full Game Breaker Plus license, it can push the budget. So we understand that. What we're going to look at is how you can use Coda, which can be put on an iPad as a kind of an incremental leap to a second license. The preferred method, and it's easier, is still to buy that second license in Mac, but again, we want to look at some different ways we can do that creatively. So hopefully in this video that'll make sense. We're going to have to get a little creative how I record this so that you can see it all, but hopefully at the end, again, you can kind of see how this would work and whether it would fit for you or not. So let's get okay, and here's the setup that we currently have. Basically, we have our game on a TV. I obviously have my Mac plugged in, but as long as you have your game on, I mean, you can use it on your PC, you can hook it onto a TV, DVD, really doesn't matter. What's important is that the game you have that you're watching to use Coda to code is the exact same as the version that's on the Mac that has Game Breaker. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, you want to have just the exact copy. So if Coach on their Mac has a game that you got off the camera, you want to have that exact file either burned to a DVD and put into a DVD player, or put on your PC, or whatever you're going to be using to watch the game. Because what we're going to do is watch the game and then use our Coda coding pad or code window to code the game as if it was live. That's basically how this works. Is you use Coda, watch the game that we have on TV, and you do it live. That means there's no fast forwarding. You cannot pause while you're capturing. So the approach to that, again, with the idea that you're going to share the coding responsibilities, is that whoever's going to be using the Coda has their specific things that they're looking for. They're not going to necessarily be coding every aspect, though with some practice I'm sure they could. So all we're going to do is take our 4 basic buttons and go with this. So again, we have our game on the TV and we have our code window here. The big important thing to do is, one, you down here at the bottom, which you won't really be able to see, but you can see where my finger's pointed. Let's see if I can get it in there. See, I told you we're going to be getting creative. Should say start. You want to hit that button and start your video as close to the same time as possible, so that the timeline that Coda creates matches up with the start of your game. You also want to have another button, which we have. I'll zoom, hopefully you'll catch that up, zoom in there. I have it set to whistle. You can call it whatever you want, as long as you have a way to kind of a clip at the beginning of your timeline to sync this timeline up with the game footage. And again, we'll walk through it, but and it might make more sense then, but you can watch this video a couple times so that it makes sense, and I'll show you how this works. So one, we're going to hit start here. It starts, then we're going to hit start on the video. Pretty close. I mean, should work. Again, there's some footage at the beginning of this match or the game that we don't want. Unfortunately, we can't fast forward this. So if you're planning on doing this, that's the advantage of having the second license of Game Breaker, is you could fast forward this. With Coda, it's done as if you were watching this for the first time. So we'll just should be couple just a little bit longer that these guys are going to come out, and we'll go through in other videos how to use Coda and create some windows and things. So the purpose of this more is just simply, if you have Coda, how can you use it as a second license option. Alright, so they're getting ready, and again, I have my whistle button, so as soon as I see that ball go up, I'm going to hit whistle. It's going to record that, giving me kind of a, now we're on defense, giving me a starting point when I import this into Game Breaker. We'll give this a little bit. Now we're on offense, just to give us some clips here on what they're going to do. As you can see, I have a lot of time in between my buttons, so with practice you're going to be able to do a lot more than what we're doing. The only buttons I have right now are field goal attempt, which he missed, so we're going to hit field goal attempt. We're on defense. The 4 buttons, offense, defense, and our own field goal attempts and field goal made. So hopefully it's kind of tough to get everything in there, but now we're on offense. We'll get one more shot in there, and then I'll show you what the next steps are. And that's it. We'll stop. Stop coding session. And then you save your timeline. That's what this is asking. Name doesn't matter, but we're going to save. Alright. Now I'll show you what we can do with, now that we have a timeline on our iPad that correlates to our game, I'll show you how to take it off of here and put it into a timeline. Alright, here we go. Hopefully this works out. Unfortunately for the lights that are in this room, it got a little ugly otherwise, but here we go. Okay, so here's our our code window that we're done with. To get to your timeline that you're done, it's up here under Forms, so we're going to hit Forms. There's our basketball template. What we want to do is go to the bottom of that under Timelines, which will then, we'll go to the back up to the top, get you basketball template. Now if you have your iPad plugged in to the Mac that has Game Breaker, this is easier. You can go into Command Center and I'll kind of walk through that, but let's say as an assistant coach you're at home and you're doing this at night and coach wants the timeline sent. So what you can simply do is go up here. That's the email button. Oops, not right, sorry. Select it, hit this. That brings up, I got to back out a little bit, an email form, basically, so if you have your email set up on your iPad, yes, that is what you'll have to do, set up so you can email. Your timeline can be emailed to it. That's the attachment right there, sent to the coach. Alright, we'll stop it here and pick up when we have it on our Mac, and we'll take it from there. So, see you then. Okay, and here we find ourselves on our Mac, and we got to get our pieces together, the timeline out of Coda, which is currently on our iPad, which we have here. My iPad is turned on and has our timeline. We'll drag that. Again, I just clicked and dragged, so that part is done for Coda. And now we got our 2 pieces, our timeline and our video. Coach might already have this video in a Game Breaker package, so you could essentially skip the following step, but just in case, we'll show you we got to put them into a timeline. Alright, and so this might be more what you're looking at, just this, and now we got to bring in our timeline. So we go File, Import, XML, select our timeline, and in come all of our clips and breakdown. If Coach had already done some breakdown, they'll just add to the bottom or add on to rows that Coach might have, so that can kind of vary depending on the situation, but in short, yes, it'll bring those in. So now what I do is you want to make sure you kind of sync up your clips, which is why we had this whistle clip, why that's so important. Sync this up with the video. So as you can see, we're a little off. So we got to find where we want more where that whistle starts, which is right there. Now you can hit Command A to select all your clips, and we're going to adjust them. So edit, remove unused instance time. Alright, that one. What it's going to do is basically take this little blank time in here and remove it. So bumps them all up. Again, even though that shows it, I still like to get in the habit of double checking that our clips are showing what exactly they want to do. So looks good. So that all looks good. I'm going to do one more to show you another situation you might find yourself in by messing these up on purpose just in case. So here's what you also may find yourself in. This is where our clip should be.
and this is where they are. So we got to do a little bit of math, not a big deal. Right now we're at 53.8. I round it because there's no reason to be that specific. So we're about 54. Put this at the beginning. 30. So we're about 24 seconds off. Again, I'll put this where. That's why I don't have to be specific. So still 54. So again, I'm going to select all, and this time what I'm going to do is use instance adjustments. Now we're at 24. If you want to use them at 20, move it 24 or 25 seconds. I'll show you why. It really doesn't matter, and why I like to actually bump it up. So now we have a little gap there. Now we just do the same edit, slides it back, syncs it up nice and beautiful. So that really is all you need to do in how to get your use your Coda license as a second Game Breaker license, and how to bring that timeline and sync it up with the video. As in all the videos we say, if you guys got some other questions or want to see some other videos on things, please email support@dtsvideo.com and let us know what you are looking for, or post some comments. Until the next video, have a good one.